Just when I thought I had zigzag figured out, it threw me for another curve ball here. So without the ATR4 applied to the parameters, we would have had the swing point here pointed down, but because ATR4 is on there, it looks like both the peak point going back 5 bars needs to be higher than those 5 bars and higher than the subsequent 5 bars, and the ATR4 must be less than the true range for that day. So on the 24th, the true range is 4234, and the ATR 4 bar is at 58.45, so still higher than the true range. So there's still a slim hope that the zigzag won't have the swing point here to the downside and could possibly start working its way up. But in other words, we live another day on that. Price in the pre-market hours for the S&P 500 at 7:25 a.m. Central Time on the 25th is 42.39. And so that puts price in the pre-market hours right on top of the 200 simple moving average. And the 200 EMA is right to the top side, 4270.92, so price is right in between those two. Better between those two than the 65-week EMA here, which translates to the 325 daily EMA. And lines is a little discombobulated today, something on DeMarc's end, but anyway, a close above this first ongoing supply line, which is approximately 43.72, will qualify that, and then a close below this ongoing demand line, which is at 4157.62 for today, will qualify that level. And the ongoing demand line from the 20th was disqualified, as we've seen, and price did at least close above the channel 3 low here, and the lower Stark band and the lower Bollinger Band is anchoring the bottom at 4172.13. And the Bollinger Band mid-band is right there along with the 200 EMA in dashed green, and the mid-band for the Bollinger Band in dashed blue. They're right there together. And the baseline took a little bit of a dip down, and the conversion line is going sideways, so that could be a sleeper where the baseline heads down, the conversion line stays sideways, and then all of a sudden one day the conversion line goes right above the baseline, either by virtue of the baseline falling under the conversion line or definitely a solid move by the conversion line above the baseline. And the combo and sequential buy setup 6 count printed, and to negate that for end of day today on the 25th, there must be a close above 42.78 for the price flip to the sell setup count 1. So the buy setup count 7 prints today, then tomorrow if it closes above 4224.16, that will negate that 7 buy setup count. If by some close below it and the 7 printed, then the 8 count will print on a close lower than 4217.04, and the price flip to the sell setup count 1 with a close above it, and that would take the wind out of the sails of the buy setup count to the downside there. So this is a critical level here, 4217.04 in the next couple of days. And then if it does print the 8 count, then it's going to be really hard to stop that as a close above 4247.68 would be required to negate the buy setup count and not print the 9 end count for buy setup. It's critical area right here, 4217.04. And the disqualified buy risk for combo printed down here, as I thought, below the TDST line. So that's at 4144.51. And that makes the sell TDST line that even more stronger support. This is major support here. And the ATM slow trigger down did close below the oversold line at 25. So all three are in the basement. The pressure up -2, the ATM fast trigger down, and the ATM slow trigger down are all in the basement. And that little tick up yesterday saved DM1 from going under the oversold line, so it's still above that. Same thing with ROC, and the REI took a tick down. It was definitely starting to drift up, trying to seek neutral, but it definitely changed its mind here. So it has one more day. Today is the day on the 25th. It needs to get above that oversold -40 line here for the buy signal. If the region starts printing, which happens on the 6th bar, then I just about forget about a buy signal. You really want this to go above the oversold -40 without printing a region similar to back here, but it was trying to seek a neutral on the downdraft. You can see everything was headed down. So, but that's what you're looking for here. And the fledgling chance to get something going to the upside, as indicated by the 4, 9, 18. That's 4 blue, 9 red, 18 gold. That was going on here with the 4 above the 9 above the 18, 4 above everything, and then all of a sudden, that's it. Now we're on the precipice of having the 9 go under the 18, which it looks like it already did by a few pennies. So that tide has turned, and that's what usually happens with these fast and shorter simple moving averages here that show the rainbow pattern. They change on a dime.